Imagine waking up tomorrow and finding out another country just built a city on the moon. Sounds like something straight out of a science fiction movie, right? But about 70 years ago, the world's two biggest superpowers were fighting a battle that was almost as crazy. Not with tanks. Not with soldiers. But with rockets. Welcome to the space race. One of the greatest competitions in human history. And trust me, it wasn't really about space. It was about proving who ruled the world. To understand why, we need to go back to the end of World War II. The fighting was over. But peace didn't exactly arrive. Instead, two new superpowers stood at the top. The United States and the Soviet Union. They didn't trust each other. They disagreed on almost everything. Politics, money, governments, even who had the better future. This became known as the Cold War. Luckily, they never fought each other directly. Because if they had, we probably wouldn't be making YouTube videos today. Instead, they competed in everything. Bigger armies, better weapons, faster technology, smarter scientists. Even the Olympic Games became part of the competition. Then someone had a wild idea. What if we raced to space? Whoever reached space first would prove their country had the best technology on Earth. And that's when one of history's greatest races officially began. But nobody expected who would take the first victory. On October 4, 1957, the Soviet Union shocked the entire world. They successfully launched Sputnik 1, the first artificial satellite ever sent into space. It wasn't huge. It was about the size of a beach ball. But don't let its size fool you. This tiny metal sphere changed history forever. Every 96 minutes, it flew over Earth's skies, sending one simple signal. Beep. 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 That's it. 3 little beeps. But those beeps terrified America. Imagine your biggest rival suddenly proving they could launch objects into space, while your rockets were still sitting on the ground. Americans couldn't believe it. Newspapers called it the Sputnik crisis. Parents worried. Politicians panicked. Scientists suddenly became national heroes. But there was another reason people were scared. If the Soviet Union could launch a satellite, maybe they could launch nuclear missiles across the world too. Suddenly, space wasn't just exciting. It was dangerous. The United States knew they had to respond fast. In 1958, America created NASA, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. Basically, the country's best scientists were told, figure this out. Billions of dollars were invested. New rockets were designed. Thousands of engineers got to work. Schools even started encouraging more students to study science and mathematics. The mission was simple: catch the Soviet Union. But before America could celebrate, the Soviets landed another massive victory. This time, they didn't send a machine into space. They sent a human. And that changed everything. On April 12, 1961, the Soviet Union made history again. A 27-year-old pilot named Yuri Gagarin climbed into a tiny spacecraft called Vostok 1. He had no idea exactly what would happen. Nobody had ever been to space before. There were no instruction manuals. No YouTube tutorials. Not even a 5-star review saying, "Great trip, would recommend." This was humanity's first attempt. And somehow, it worked. Yuri Gagarin became the first human ever to travel into space. He orbited Earth once, traveling at nearly 28,000 kilometers per hour. Imagine looking out your window and seeing the entire planet beneath you. That must have been one incredible view. Once again, America had lost another round. People started asking a serious question. Was the Soviet Union simply better at space? The United States knew they needed something bigger. Much bigger. Then, in 1961, President John F. Kennedy made an announcement that sounded almost impossible. He challenged America to land a human on the moon before the end of the decade. At the time, the United States had only managed short space flights. Landing on the moon was like saying, "Let's build a hotel on Mars by next weekend." It sounded completely unrealistic. But America accepted the challenge. Thousands of scientists, engineers, mathematicians, and astronauts began working together. New rockets became larger than anything ever built before. Computers were designed to guide spacecraft through space. Astronauts trained for years. Every mission pushed them one step closer. The race was no longer about reaching space. It was about reaching the moon first. And after years of failures, explosions, and near disasters, the biggest moment of the entire space race finally arrived. On July 16, 1969, 3 astronauts climbed aboard the largest rocket ever built. Apollo 11 was ready for launch. Millions of people watched live around the world. Then, liftoff. The Saturn V rocket blasted into the sky with over 7 million pounds of thrust. It was so powerful. Windows shook miles away from the launch site. 4 days later, the astronauts reached the moon. On July 20th, Neil Armstrong climbed down the ladder. Then, he placed the first human footprint on another world. He famously said, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." At that moment, the United States had won the biggest prize of the space race. But here's something many people don't realize. The Soviet Union didn't lose because they stopped trying. They faced rocket failures, funding problems, and political challenges. Eventually, they canceled their moon program. But the space race wasn't really about winning. It changed humanity forever. The competition led to better computers, better satellites, better weather forecasting, better communication, better navigation. Even the GPS on your phone exists because of technologies developed during the space race. So the next time your phone helps you find the nearest pizza place, you can thank 2 countries that spent years trying to beat each other to space. Kind of funny when you think about it. What started as a political rivalry ended up changing life for billions of people. Today, countries often work together in space instead of competing. Astronauts from different nations live and work side by side aboard the International Space Station. A pretty incredible ending for a race that began with fear and rivalry. So, who really won the space race? America reached the moon first. The Soviet Union achieved many historic firsts. But maybe the real winner was humanity. Because every giant leap into space became a giant leap for all of us. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments. If you could travel anywhere in space, the moon, Mars, or even another galaxy, where would you go first? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next adventure.